Hi, today's reading lesson is going to be on main topic, and we're going to be using our reading packet that we used for our other two lessons. If you could go and find that now, go ahead and pause your video. We're going to be talking about main topic, like it's on my poster right here, but you're going to be looking for the story right here called Birds Build Big. We're going to be reading that story together and talking about that today. So if you could go ahead and find that, just pause the video and come back once you've found that. Today we're going to be thinking about the main topic. The main topic of what we're reading is what a book is all about. Sometimes books have other things in it besides just one thing. So we can even talk about how one part of a book might be about a certain thing. So today, when we're going to read or listen to what I'm reading to you, you're going to ask yourselves these questions in your head. What is this book all about? That will answer the question of what is the main topic. And then what are the important key details? We can talk about that a little bit more later, but let's think about this. If I was telling you a story about Fergie, and I told you that she was a dog that likes to chase squirrels, and squirrels are funny. Squirrels being funny isn't really an important part of my story. That Fergie is a dog and that Fergie likes to chase those squirrels, those are important parts of my story. So I'm going to hang this up behind me. I know that I wrote a lot of words on here, maybe that you can't read by yourself, but I did draw a picture of myself reading a book. And if you look closely, my book is about birds. What kind of a bird do you think that is? Now you have to read my illustration, don't you? It does say, this bird is a hen. It lays eggs. And I used my pink highlighter to highlight the important details in my story example. So if you are at home and you have a highlighter, you might choose to maybe highlight the things that are interesting to you in the story that we're going to read together, or maybe you'll even use that highlighter to highlight the things that are important in the story. If you don't know what those things might be or have a hard time using a highlighter like that, you can ask an adult at your house to help you out. So today we're going to be reading the story Birds Build Big, and this is written by Amy Kraft. Unlike the other two stories that we've read, this is actually an informational story. This is not made up, and you're going to see some details in the story that will help you know that. One of those details that we find in informational text is a text feature called labels. We're going to see those labels, and I will read those labels for you. I hope that you can identify them on your own. There are some big words that we're going to encounter in this story, and I'd like to talk about them right now before we get to them. The first one is desert. Desert is maybe something you've heard before. It's not dessert. Okay, we like that at the end of our meals and every once in a while, but a desert is an ecosystem where animals and plants survive in a very dry in a very warm climate. So they aren't everywhere. They're in different parts of the world, and this one is actually going to be in Africa, if I remember correctly. Also, another word that we're going to use is tunnels, and a tunnel is an enclosed area that allows you to travel from one place to another. So one time when I was driving through the mountains, instead of driving up the mountain and down the mountain, somebody had worked very hard with some friends and made a tunnel through the mountain. So I was able to drive my car underneath the mountain. It was kind of crazy, but they had lights and it was okay. But we're going to use that word in our story today. We're also going to use the word protect. That means to keep safe. Your parents keep you safe. Your family keeps you safe from different things. Protect is going to be used in our story today. And then we're also going to use the word slanted. And so if you take your paper like I am right here and you hold it up and down like this is not slanted. If you hold it like this, nice and flat, this is also not slanted. This right here is slanted. Now think about your roof at home. Do you have a slanted roof, or maybe you have a flat roof? But we're going to talk about slanted today because we're going to talk about the rain hitting the roof of this bird nest, and we're actually going to, Mine's a little floppy, but it's going to be coming off of that because it is slanted. So let's get started reading. I will go ahead and tell you when I turn my page so that you can turn your page as well. Birds Build Big by Amy Kraft. Turn your page. Have you ever been in an apartment building? It is a big building with many small homes inside it. Do you see the picture that's labeled apartment building? I know we have an apartment building in Carson City, but I know it is not as tall as the one in this picture. Some birds make nests this way too. They are called weaver birds. Say that with me. Weaver birds. And then this is a weaver bird nest in that picture. Now, sometimes the copy machine may have messed the pictures up just a little bit so they're hard to see. If you would like to, you can look these up online after we get done with our story. Weaver birds live in the desert in Africa. These little birds build big nests. More than 400 birds might live in one nest. I know we've been practicing counting to 100. You'd have to do that 4 times in order to count how many birds would live in this one nest. Each bird family has its own room. The birds make tunnels to connect the rooms. The nest is like an apartment building. The nest has many small rooms inside it. Turn your page. Weaver birds work together. They use straw to make a nest. The birds stuff straw into the sides and the bottoms of their nest. This makes the nest bigger. The birds work on a nest for years. One nest might be as big as your classroom. Do you remember how big our classroom was? Can you imagine a bird nest that big with 400 birds in it? These birds are amazing. Many weaver birds work together on a nest. Oh, they don't need the lesson from the camel, do they? Okay, turn your page. A big nest protects weaver birds and their eggs. Snakes and hawks want to eat the eggs. The sharp, spiky straw in the big nest keeps them away. So if we said snakes and hawks were what to the weaver bird's eggs? Did you say predators? I did too. What a big word. The spiky straw keeps the snake out. Turn your page. The big nest makes shade that keeps the birds cool. Feathers and grass in each room keep the birds warm. Rain runs off the slanted roof. Do you remember our slanted word? The birds stay dry. Weaver birds know how to work and live together. They know how to build big. A big nest protects weaver birds. I hope you can see that last picture because that last picture really shows you the great size of these nests. The next few pages are questions that you can do with an adult at home. As you listen to this story, did you think about what this story was all about? Did you also think about what are the important details or the key details in this story? If you did, you are thinking about the main topic. Think about the main topic of this story and discuss it with somebody at your home. Maybe you could listen to another story and figure out the main topic of that story. Tomorrow, I will give you another story and we'll talk about main topic again. Until then, see you later.